Hey folks, Tommy Yarrish here with Horns 24/7. Now that the spring football period is over and our eyes are set on the 2023 season, we're going to go back and take a look at five guys whose stock rose throughout the 15 practices and the spring game for Texas. So let's get started. And I think the first player is the very easy pick here, and it's quarterback Malik Murphy. Coming into the spring, he was injured throughout the first week, ended up staying over spring break to recover, and then after that, played well the rest of the way through practices and in the spring game. In the game, he went 9 of 13 for 165 yards and a touchdown, that touchdown on a long ball to freshman wide receiver John Cook. Texas learned the hard way last year just how important it was to have a viable backup quarterback option. When Quinn Ewers went down in the first quarter against Alabama in week 2 and had to rely on Hudson Card for a couple of weeks afterwards. So, should that situation come to rise again, it seems like Steve Sarkisian has found his backup quarterback in Malik Murphy. And from the spring game, he looks like a guy who can definitely help out offensively should something happen to Quinn Ewers. Going to stay on the offensive side of the ball for our second player, and that's running back Jaden Blue. Mike Roach made a really good point during the spring game that at one point in time, Jaden Blue was the number one running back in the country. That was his junior year. He sat out his senior year of high school, so that bumped his stock down a little bit. And during his first year at Texas, he struggled to get back into the swing of things. But now it seems like he's back. He has his feet back under him, and he has improved a lot. In the game, 10 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown run, he had to dodge and shake off several defenders on his way to the end zone. Certainly an impressive run from Jaden Blue. He's a guy who's going to provide depth into this strong backfield that already has Jonathan Brooks and already has Keelan Robinson and also has the next guy that we'll talk about, which is Savion Red, who made the transition to the running back room from the wide receiver room. Early on, there were certainly some questions about what that would look like. Would it work? The staff has wanted him to fit into a Deebo Samuel type of role, and it looked like it's something that could definitely work in the spring game. 9 carries for 45 yards for Savion Red. Still a long way to go here with his development, but I think that it's definitely something that if Steve Sarkisian is able to tap into that potential, knowing him and his history in the past with offenses and how he runs things, it's definitely something that Texas can use to their advantage. We're going to stay on the offensive side of the ball here once again, but this time we're going to move to the big fellas up front, and it's Cam Williams. Last year, Cam Williams sat behind Christian Jones at that right tackle position, and now he's moved into playing guard. He played guard during the spring game, and remember, a couple weeks prior, our Hudson Standish had hinted that that was something that we could see. At 6'5", 360 pounds, he's going to be a hard guy to keep off the field, and Steve Sarkisian has preached that with his offensive line, he's going to throw the best 5 guys out there every time, regardless of what position they are strong at. So we'll see if there's maybe a little bit more of a development for Cam Williams now that DJ Campbell was injured. That's why he was playing at guard in the spring game. We'll see if there's maybe a competition there or if Cam Williams fits somewhere else on the offensive line. Last but certainly not least, we'll end with a defensive player, and that is Katan Crawford. Katan Crawford earned a lot of praise from Steve Sarkisian so far throughout this spring, most notably when he said, quote, "I think this is the best version of Katan Crawford." Certainly what you want to hear for a senior corner or senior defensive back, excuse me. He's a great special teams guy, and now that it seems like he's had a phenomenal spring, it could be a guy that you see in that rotation in the backfield at safety alongside Jaron Thompson, Jalen Catalon, and a rotation of defensive backs along the back line for Steve Sarkisian. So keep an eye on Katan Crawford heading into this season as well. So there's your 5 guys whose stock has risen throughout this spring practices, and we'll keep an eye on them as we head into fall ball and the spring and the 2023 football season. I want to thank you so much for watching us here on the Horns 24/7 YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content. For the rest of the crew, I'm Tommy Yarsh. We'll see you next time.